So this is one of those questions that everybody wants to talk about, but nobody does. So construction schedules with commissioning and project management. So why is it that no one can seem to hit them these days?
Oh God, there was a book done recently by Bent Flyborg. It was called "Getting Big Things Done," and he's one of the few people who have done real research on this. And his research showed, and I quote it sometimes on presentations, only 0.5% of projects finish on time, on quality, and on budget.
0.5.
0.5, 0.5% of every project done. Only for that's nuts, right? So obviously we all suck at scheduling and money management and project management. Now there's several reasons for that. Let's not dive into that, but let's talk about schedule, right? Schedules or programs, if you're a Brit, construction programs, project programs, right? They are an intention, right? You start off with a plan. Now, once you go into contract with someone, that plan becomes a contractual legal document as well. The problem with them is this, in my opinion. One is the people that produce them do not really fully understand the construction process, let alone the commissioning side of it, right? So why there's very rarely commissioning in a construction or project program. Or if you do, it's like a couple of weeks at the end, or 3 weeks at the end, or a month at the end, right? So it's the people that produce them don't necessarily, you wind up with someone using a program called Primavera outside of North America. And it's the reason it's used, was it someone called it to me once? Oh, that's just colors for directors and people who go to court, right? But the reason Primavera goes to court a lot is because it's accepted by the legal process. It's got all the analysis built into it, right? So the people who build these programs, they're like magic people. They know how to do it. Most people don't. It's not an intuitive program. So you have people building construction and project programs who don't understand construction project processes. That's problem number one. Problem number two is even less people who should know better understand what commissioning is. So it's seen as sacrificial if it's on there at all. In fact, that's just giving me a good idea. I'm going to do a blog post about commissioning milestones.
Yeah.
Right. But, the problem is this. Few people understand commissioning, and even fewer people know how to put that into a program. So in my experience, frankly, programs are a fantasy. I utterly ignore them once I'm on the job. I run commissioning projects based on 1 month, 1 week, and 3 month look aheads, and a series of milestones. That's how I do it, because you get the program, it's just ridiculous, and some of them are like 800,000 lines long. Who's going down that?
Well, also too is all these milestones, all these meetings, all these, if you want to call them OACs or commissioning meetings or planning meetings or whatever. It's just like, like I honestly, I don't even go to many OAC meetings anymore. It's just like, or if I do, I'm like, can you give me 5 minutes? Can someone have questions ready? Because it's just like, you just can't sit on these hour calls and go over FF&E or hardware or doors or basically, I don't need to be on those, right? And then that's why I always basically try to ask for like a side meeting, every 2 weeks or 3 weeks or something like that, so we can keep up with the milestones that are actually focused on systems to be commissioned. It's just also at the end of the day, like when we're getting submittals, right? I always ask people, can we please just send me these divisions? Can you please not send me 8,000 submittals that you expect me to go through? Like the coordination, with the milestones for, remember, big deal here, milestones for a project and commissioning milestones for the equipment that we're responsible for.
Yeah.
There's a big difference, because I'm not responsible for the entire world. And for some reason, like, people understand that, but they don't understand that. And then they'll actually minimize your scope. Then they'll leave something out because they truly don't understand what it is you're doing and what systems are to be commissioned.
Yeah. No, and also the other thing, people don't understand the difference between a milestone and a task. A milestone is an event, like Power On, right? Is a good example. A task is like functional performance testing or startup, right? There's a difference. I am amazed at how few people understand the distinction between them two.
It's actually scary, to be honest with you, how many folks, like, so you go into rooms now, and I mean, I know that the gray hairs basically signify maybe getting older, but like, what's that status now that basically for every 5 people over 50 that are leaving, or 10, one's coming in?
Yeah.
For those,
Get
it's
worse.
just like
Yeah.
all that experience, wisdom, and all that knowledge is just going out the door, because before you used to walk in and go, you get it, you get it, you
Yeah.
get, like, yeah. Now they're like, now they're actually saying, oh yeah, when they really don't, because nobody's actually admitting that they don't really know what the hell you just talked about in your commissioning meeting until later, when they go, like, months later, yeah, I'm kind of new to this. I'm like, why didn't you just tell me? Because everybody in commissioning knows this. The first question we ask is this: hi, has anybody been part of a commissioning project before? Has anybody hasn't?
Like an
And
Alcoholics Anonymous meeting. Yeah, hi, I'm
exactly.
Marcus. I do commissioning.
Yeah, and I like long walks on the beach. Yeah, but it's the truth though, because nobody actually does go,
Yeah.
my first time, I really have no idea.
Yeah,
Be
no
nice
one
to
says,
me.
yeah, this is my first one. Yeah, that's interesting. So I think just to wrap up on this one, put a bow on it. I think if you arrive on a job as a lead commissioning person, you need to produce a list of milestones and tasks, and at the very least, give them to the scheduler and see if they'll put them in. Right now, if they
They'll
don't,
put them in. They'll
then
be
it's
like,
on you.
one day.
Yeah, then it's on you to manage that job based on your own milestones, based on a 1 week look ahead and a 3 month look ahead.
Be
Right.
careful what you just said. So manage that job, so that we can only internally manage ourselves.
Yeah.
We have no power to manage that job.
Now there are, yeah. So in UK we got commission management. I agree with you. But what the question is then, what are the milestones and tasks? So that just riffing here, there's power on, water on, gas on, systems complete, installation wise. And there's startup, pre-functional testing, functional performance testing,
But,
IST.
so
Right?
everything you just said is wonderful, because like they're all static milestones.
Yeah.
But I mean, how many people actually have full power on? You might have temporary power on. You might have temporary water. You know what I mean? Like, right now, like, because the electrical vault's not done yet, so we're just going to run some transformers over from the pole. Like,
Yeah.
there are so many temporary power versus
Yeah.
full power. You see what I mean? So
Yeah, absolutely. And also, by the way, if you're commissioned on temporary power, beware. Power, there's a quality to power.
Yeah.
Right. And that can really affect how systems perform.
Voltages, tripping, everything. Oh, and also mesh systems, Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
By the way, go in the middle of nowhere with concrete walls, and you see how good your Wi-Fi works, or your hotspot, right? So early on, set up a mesh system. Oh, wait, but hold on. Who's going to pay for that? Right? Remember, every time there's a cost to some fundamental thing, I mean, someone's got to pay for that cost. And they're like, well, are you going to put the system in? No, I didn't put down for a mesh system for $30,000 for over like 6 months. Well, you should have. It's your site. I literally am coming on. Remember, when the construction managers, when I come on site, like, they own that site until they turn it over. So it's your job to basically work with us, to basically help us. Otherwise, I mean, like, virtual commissioning, right? We've been trying to do that during COVID. Like, we have a camera or this or that. Good luck. Do you realize that when we're out there and this phone doesn't work with what? Show me the picture. That doesn't work.
Yeah.
Like, you're dead in the water.
Yeah, no, I agree. So I think the takeaway here is go into a job knowing what your milestones are and what tasks you want to complete, and try and get that into schedule wherever you can.
I'm going to end every session with work together as a team.
Yeah, absolutely.